Hello everyone, I am Rusha Mukherjee, a student of Shunnath Law College and now presently interning at LEXIS. Today, I am going to talk about the UAP, Unlawful Activities Protection Act. Before we start, we will talk about those 3 years of 1962, 1971 and 1975. 1962 was the India-China War, 1971 was the India-Pakistan War and 1975 was the emergency of 19 months. Also, on the other hand, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, C.N. Annadurai, who had changed the name of the state from Madras to Tamil Nadu's Chennai, actually proposed to form a new Tamil country, separate Tamil country in the Rajya Sabha, which later on in 1962 he quitted the claim because of the war. But it was a situation when there was problems everywhere in the country. We had laws to deal with foreign troubles, international troubles, but there was no strong law that could actually deal with the internal disturbances in the country. And so in 1967, the UAPA was introduced. There, a National Integration Council was formed that aimed at national integration and restoration and reorganization also. It aimed to curb the 3 fundamental rights so that the domestic security can be maintained. The first 3 rights under Article 19 was curbed here. UAPA is an anti-terror legislation. It aimed to curb the terrorism, and the body that is to enforce this is the NIA. Here it aims and tells that any unlawful activity that is done by an individual or organization, as it was later told, and anything that intended to bring cessation or troubles and anything that would disrupt the integrity, sovereignty of the nation was dealt in this act. In 2004, the UAPA was further amended. But why was this amendment made? Because at this time, the POTA had to be repealed because of the extensive misuse of that act, and hence certain vacuum was felt, and hence the UAPA had to be amended. And we also called, because of this reason, the UAPA to be the POTA 2.0. In this one, we said that special provisions dedicated to terrorism was introduced here. Now we are coming to the 2019 Amendment Act that aimed to define who can do terrorism. In 2019, it was told any organizations or individuals can do it. Earlier, it was only organization under Chapter 6 of Section 35 and 36. But under the recent amendment, the government gives power to designate an organization as a terrorist organization if it commits or participates in any kind of terrorism or promotes or protects terrorism or is involved in terrorism. Second thing that was done in the 2019 amendment was the detention till 6 months or 180 days. Under the CRPC section 167, maximum it is given till a period of 90 days. But in case of UAPA, it is told that a person, if actually arrested under the UAPA Act, he can be kept or detained without any right to bail till 180 days or 6 months, and that is given under section 43D of the UAPA Act. Next thing was the 4th schedule was added, and the government could brand terrorist people as terrorists, could brand them as terrorists. Any people could be branded as terrorists by the government. And the only remedy was the governments could be sought for the remedy. Any person who has been introduced as a terrorist and whose name has been inserted in the fourth schedule can appeal after 45 days and get his name struck off as a terrorist. But actually, claiming or tagging somebody as a terrorist cuts all his civil rights. That person is in no position to again be mingled in the society and live a proper life. It is normally done that we all accept that to make our security right, we have to curb certain rights. But taking away all the rights, or basically the civil rights of a person for the sake of security, is that very correct? That is a very debatable issue. And that is the reason 2019's amendment of UAPA had been debated a lot. And there is a review committee for this fourth schedule one, which will be set up by the retired or sitting judge as its head and along with 3 other members. Now, I would end by saying that UAPA has been debated a lot because many people are not very much willing to give away their civil rights and actually basically giving the right to live. Because if a person is tagged as terrorist, that person is actually losing their life, dignified life, losing the right of a dignified life, because that person has to always move as a dead person in the society. Tagging a person as a terrorist is actually giving a social death to a person. And hence I would like you to give your opinion about this fact, that whether this 2019 amendment was a right one or a wrong one. Till then, goodbye and see you soon. Bye.